YouTube, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Screens, and I'm back again today with the very last of the badge tier lists in NBA 2K21. Now, you guys seem to enjoy these videos a lot. You guys seem to enjoy the defensive one, the slashing one, and a little bit of the shooting one. So I just figured that I would finish it off with the playmaking badge one. And this is going to be where I basically just, if you haven't watched any of the other ones, I basically just take all of the badges in this one category and kind of rank them based off of my personal opinion. Now, I try to be unbiased with these because, as you guys know, I do play center, so obviously I try to make it based off of just off of basically every build, like lockdowns, point guards, centers, sharps, stretches, anything like that. And so yeah, basically I just rank them just into these these 5 tiers, as you guys can see. And before we get into it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, those post notifications if you guys are new to the channel, so you never miss out on another video / stream. Also, follow my Twitter, which will be down in the description, to always keep up with me and the channel. I love interacting with you guys on there, so make sure to follow up. And without further ado, let's get right into this video, y'all. So the very first badge that I want to talk about is Quick First Step. Now, hold on, let me see if I could find it. Here it is. So Quick First Step, in my opinion, this is probably a GOAT badge. In my opinion, I've seen basically every single point guard uses this badge. Most centers also use this badge on Max Gold or Hall of Fame, depending on what pie chart you use. And I also sometimes see lockdowns use this. Now, this is a badge that, it's a given. It makes your first step quicker. And especially this year with the speed glitch or the speed boost glitch, every archetype can do it. And using this badge right here, you move way quicker than somebody that doesn't have it, obviously. And that's such a huge advantage to have, is just being able to move faster, get to spots quicker than other people. And so that's why, in my opinion, it's the GOAT tier playmaking badge. Now, the next one that I want to talk about is Ankle Breaker. Now, Ankle Breaker this year, it's gotten a buff. So I'm gonna leave it in the all right category, just because only play shots are gonna use this badge. However, I have seen people use this badge very effectively. Now, if you guys watch some PS4 or some Xbox, a lot of the top point guards are starting to use this badge just because it's a bailout. Now, the only reason why it's all right instead of good or GOAT is because only like I said, you really only see the point guards using it, and you really don't see anything else. But it's such a helpful badge. If you guys are getting clamped for an entire possession, and your guard somehow manages to get an ankle breaker animation off, that's basically at the least a free 2 every single time, because one dude is just completely rendered useless, and you either have the center on a slip or a pop, or the point guard's wide open for a 3. So it's a good badge to have. The only reason it's all right is because, like I said, not every archetype can use it. So the next badge that I want to talk about here is Bailout. Now, Bailout, in my opinion, I'm gonna say bad, just because in my experiences, I don't see a use for this badge. In my opinion, I don't think it's useless, because I understand the concept of it, and I have seen people use Bailout on high tiers. I've seen people use it in Hall of Fame, and don't get me wrong, the difference between having this badge on and not having it on at all is huge. But in my personal experience, for example, I have my Paint Beast, right? He has no playmaking. He has no bailout on at all. He has his pass accuracy up, which could be a reason why. So it could be borderline bad / all right. But in my personal experiences, whenever I take a bad shot, I can usually pass out of that shot effectively without having the badge on at all. And I feel like the only difference between not having it on and having it on is when you don't have this badge on, it kind of just when you throw a bailout pass, the ball will essentially just hit the person. It'll hit the person that you pass it to, bounce in the air for a little bit, and the guy will catch it. I mean, obviously, if you have Bailout Bronze, they'll just catch it, they'll throw a straight laser at the person. But it's really not all of that. You know what I mean? It's just you don't experience a shit ton of turnovers when you don't have this badge on. It could be because I have my pass accuracy up. Now, obviously, if you guys don't have your pass accuracy upgraded at all, definitely look into maybe bronze for this badge. But I don't really see it, unless you have an absurd amount of playmaking badges, higher than bronze, in my opinion, which is why it's bad. The next badge that I want to talk about here is Break Starter. Now, in my personal opinion, this badge is useless. Now, the reason why I say that is because the stereotypical Paint Beast build, which is the only centers are first off going to use this build, or this badge, I'm sorry. you don't need this badge to throw full court passes. And the reason why I say that is because basically a lot, like I'd say probably 80% of builds this year have their pass accuracy upgraded. Now with your pass accuracy upgraded, you don't really like miss like deep passes or full court passes when you don't have this badge on. You can really just rely off your pass accuracy this year, which is something that I kind of like, because I don't really need to use a badge category or a badge slot on break starter if my pass accuracy is already upgraded. So really, like, you don't really see people use this badge other than centers. And the reason why you don't even see it used a lot on centers is because usually for centers, their pass accuracy is already upgraded, and so there's really no like real use for the badge. So now the next badge I want to talk about here is Dimer. Now Dimer for me is going to be ranked in the good category. Usually the only reason why I say good instead of GOAT is because centers can't use it. I've seen a lot of point guards use this badge this year, especially for spot ups in the corner. And I've also seen point guard lockdowns that are like, but basically the lineup that a lot of people use this year is play shot, lockdown, and paint beast. And so obviously, if you guys didn't know, if you make a point guard lockdown, you can get Dimer and floor general. Now that's something that a lot of people have been like looking at and using, and that is very, very helpful for a lot of the people on the court, just because if the floor general for a point guard just instantly boosts up their attributes, and the Dimer from a play shot to the lockdown is going to boost their shooting percentage up. And if you guys know, if you guys have played 2K21 this year, the shooting is very difficult for archetypes with like a 73 pointer. And lockdowns fall into that category. Now, obviously, you want to have a lock on and play on-ball defense, spot up corner, because they can hit corner threes. It's just very inconsistent. So this Dimer badge is going to help you guys out a lot when it comes to those catch and shoot scenarios. Basically 2 out of 3 important positions are going to be using it, the point guard and the lockdown. The center's not going to really use this badge all that much, which is why it's good instead of GOAT. If a center used this badge, it would be in the GOAT tier, but just because they don't, I'm going to leave it in the good tier. Now, the next badge that I want to talk about is Downhill. In my opinion, it's borderline all right and bad. The only thing is, hold on, I'm sorry about that. I got a notification. The only thing that happens with this badge is I've only seen, I don't play much Pro-Am, so I can't really speak on people that play that. But I've seen, the only really position that I've seen use Downhill is the center. And so what people usually will do, if you have 5 playmaking badges on your paint beast, you're going to use quick first step gold, silver downhill, and if you have the 6th one, you're going to use like gold quick first step, gold downhill, or silver downhill, and bronze unpluggable. Now, they don't really use this badge on anything else. I rarely see point guards use it. I can't speak for the Pro-Am community. Maybe this is a popular badge there, but I don't really see people using this badge all that much in the 3v3 or 2v2 setting. 2v2, this badge is essentially useless because it's only a full court badge. And like I said, I don't see a lot of point guards or lockdowns using it, and the only time that I really see people using it is a paint beast because he puts it on silver or gold in a 3v3 scenario. So that's why it's kind of bad. Obviously, I can't speak on Pro-Am, so if this is a very popular badge in Pro-Am, I'm sorry, I apologize in advance. But yeah, so the next badge that I want to talk about is Dream Shake. Now, in my opinion, this badge is borderline useless. I don't see a reason, especially for post scorers this year, to have it on unless you have an absurd amount of playmaking badges. If you guys are out here that you guys post scorers have 12 playmaking badges, maybe you guys want to put this on. But for point guards, lockdowns, and paint beasts, you will never use this badge. You will never use the Dream Shake badge. If you see somebody using the Dream Shake badge, please either remove them as a friend or block them, because I have no idea what they're doing. Like I said, the only real position that would use this is a pure post score. And if you guys have played post scores this year, they don't rely on the Dream Shake. They just rely on post hooks from 15 feet away, and then they just wet that bitch. So there's really no reason to have Dream Shake on, just because it's it's just a useless badge, which is why it's in the useless category. The next badge that I want to talk about here is Flashy Passer. Now, I'm going to put this as all right because I'm pretty sure that, don't quote me on this, it works the same way this year as it did last year, where if you throw a flashy pass and then you get an assist off it, I'm pretty sure you get an absurd amount of takeover. So if I remember correctly from last year, I have not tested it this year. So please don't kill me in the comment section if I'm right or if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But what would happen was you would throw a flashy pass to say like an interior finisher or something, and the interior finisher would just go and dunk it. Now what would happen is the interior finisher off of that dunk or layup or anything really would get an absurd amount of takeover. You would essentially get takeover in 2 dunks, and if you really wanted to, in I'd say around 3 or 4 dunks, you would get team takeover for basically that would last the entire game, especially on the 2 score. Now this is a really popular badge for 2s. I don't see people using it a lot this year, so honestly I'm probably going to take it down to the bad category, just because like I said, only pure point guards that are rep farming are really going to use this badge, and it's really just to boost each other's takeover, which we have things like Showtime to help us with. So that's why it's kind of it's basically bad this year. I don't see a reason to use it, especially because rep is not going to matter in like a month or 3 weeks. So yeah, the next one that I want to talk about is floor general. Floor general this year for me is the same exact thing for the good category. I only really see point guards and basically everybody's going to use this badge on the court unless you're like a pure stretch or you're a center. Like I said, the point guard lockdowns, which do get Dimer and floor general, use this combination a lot. They both use them gold. Same thing with the play shot, but they use them Hall of Fame instead of gold. So these 2 badges right here are a really, really good combination to have, just because the boost that you get from these 2 badges is insane. It was the same thing last year when they first added floor general. I could not shoot without Dimer. And at the beginning of the year, when nobody could shoot, I couldn't shoot without both of them. Both of these badges are very, very helpful, especially with just the spot ups and the centers, because it basically helps everybody. Because if you guys didn't know, it doesn't stack. So when a point guard has floor general, they're not getting the attribute boost for floor general, which is why the lockdown typically uses it too, just because the point guard doesn't receive the boost. So like I said, it's a very, very good badge to have. Not GOAT tier just because, like I said, centers don't use it as well, but a very, very good badge to have. The next badge that I want to talk about here is handles for days. Now, handles for days, in my opinion, is it's borderline between. I'm gonna leave it on good as well, because the reason why I say that is because the 3 main archetypes that are gonna use this badge are pure stretches that run the 1, sharpshooters that run the 1, and play shots. Now, the reason why I say good is because, like I usually base this off of every single archetype. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, Screens, why are you using it as good if, the lockdowns or the centers really can't use it? This badge has such, a strong effect when it comes to stamina and main ball handlers, which is why, even though not every single archetype uses it, without this badge, your point guards and your sharps are essentially drained of stamina after doing just a couple of dribble moves, which is why it's such an important badge to have. So like I said, even though these centers and lockdowns aren't using this badge, the point guard, sharps, and stretches that all run the 1 are going to be using this badge on the highest tier, and they will never take it off. This is the same thing as quick first step. It's one of those badges that the main ball handler will never take off. You're never going to see a point guard not use handles for days, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of why it's good instead of average or all right and stuff like that, just because it's so valuable for these point guards. The next badge that I want to talk about here is Lob City Passer. Now, Lob City Passer, in my opinion, an all right badge. In my opinion, you don't really see a lot of people use you don't see people use it on Hall of Fame. I see a lot of people use it on bronze or silver. Lobs are very, very overpowered this year. So really the only thing, like I said, basically you don't need this badge, especially if you guys upgrade your pass accuracy. For example, I did too on my center. I don't run Lob City Passer, but my guy will throw good alley-oop passes every single time for the most part. Now, obviously, if you're a point guard and you have the 1 badge to use to put it on bronze or something, that's why you're going to do it, is because it's such a good... It's such a good badge to have, but it's not you don't need a Hall of Fame. And especially because not every single archetype is going to use it, which is also why it's in the all right tier. Lobs, like I said, are overpowered. They are very hard to stop, which is why you are going to want to use this badge on bronze or silver. If you guys have like an absurd amount of playmaking badges, knock yourself out, go Hall of Fame. Excuse me, but you guys really aren't going to see a lot of people use this badge on Hall of Fame all that much, which is why it's in the all right tier. Like I said, very good badge to have. If you guys have your pass accuracy up and you're a point guard, definitely use this badge. It's going to help you guys out a lot. The next badge that I want to talk about is Needle Threader. Now, Needle Threader this year, in my opinion, it's a decent badge. It's borderline like bad and all right. I don't see a lot of people use it this year, which is kind of odd. I used to think that a lot of people would use it, but the only reason I'm gonna like put it, I'm gonna leave it as all right, because it's like the lowest all right you could get. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I say that is because I haven't seen a lot. Basically, only point guards are gonna use this, and I have not seen a lot of point guards use it this year for whatever reason. I think that the only reason why that is because like a lot of these people only have like spots for 6 Hall of Fame, like they have like 24 playmaking or something. They're gonna use this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one in Hall of Fame. So you really don't have that much space for other badges. You know what I'm saying? So that could be a main factor this year, but I don't really know. I don't really see a lot. I like the badge. I don't see a lot of people using it though, which is why I'm gonna leave it in all right. The next badge that we're going to talk about here is Pass Fake Maestro. Now, if you guys use this badge on the everyday basis, I don't know what's wrong with you. This badge sucks. It doesn't affect anybody. It literally is a my career badge. I'm pretty sure that this badge is proven to only affect AIs in my career. So if you guys use this badge at all, I don't know what to say. Like, that is literally just on you if you use Pass Fake Maestro. It's such a terrible badge. Please never use this. Never use that badge ever. So the next one that I want to talk about is Post Spin Technician. Now, personally, I'm going to leave it in bad only because like post score, the only archetypes that's going to use it is post scores. Now, obviously, if you're a post scorer, you're going to have it on like the highest that you can have, whether it be Hall of Fame or gold. But it's the only archetype that's going to use it. You're never going to see a point guard use it. You're never going to see a lockdown use it. You're never going to see a 6'8" red paint bees use this badge. But we got to remember that this isn't for basically every single archetype. So it is useful for post scorers, just not anything else, which is why it's in the bad category. The next badge that I want to talk about is Space Creator. Now, I'm also going to leave this badge in bad because I really haven't seen anybody like do any sort of like hop steps this year, in my opinion. I haven't really seen a lot of stuns. I haven't seen a lot of and I haven't seen any of those. I really just see a lot of stuns and ankle breakers using the ankle breaker badge. Not really Space Creator all that much. Please don't kill me down in the comments again because I don't really know too much about this badge. In my personal experience, I haven't really seen anyone use it. Plus, I think that the only people that are going to use it are the point guards and the sharpshooters, and I'm not even sure if they use it. So, yeah, that's why I personally don't think it's all that great. The next one that I want to talk about is Stop and Go. Now, I'm personally going to leave this in the same category as all right. I have seen people use this badge. I don't see them using it on Hall of Fame. It's really just the point guards that use this. So, like your play shots and your sharpshooters that run the one. They use this badge for, quick stops and all that other stuff. But I don't really see anybody else using it. And I don't see the people that do use it on anything like higher than like gold. I really don't see people using this badge Hall of Fame in comparison to like all these other badges in the GOAT, good, and all other all right tier, which is why it's kind of like it's a good badge. Don't get me wrong. I understand the concepts of it, but I don't really see it like being insanely good and usable for every position. The next badge I want to talk about is Unpluggable. Now, I'm personally going to rank this on the GOAT tier, in my opinion, because basically every single position except for lockdowns are going to use this badge. And you do notice a difference. I'm going to admit you do notice a difference. Even though we like to clown this badge for being useless, the difference between not having it on and having it on Hall of Fame is a difference. You know, you really don't get a whole lot of like steal animations this year unless you have this badge very, very low. Or you have a low ball handling. So the combination of having a low ball, if you have a low ball handling, you need to have this badge on. And I've also seen point guards. Point guards usually just use this on like Hall of Fame just to avoid the struggle of getting ripped by a lockdown and a 6'8" paint beast with both like 90 plus steals. So this is a very good badge to have. You're going to use it on a lot of players this year, especially if you have if you're like a center, if you're a point guard, the only thing that you're really not going to use this on is a lockdown, and that's mainly because you don't really touch the ball. The only time you touch the ball as a lockdown is when you shoot it. And yeah, so that's why Unpluggable, in my opinion, is up there, is the second addition to the GOAT tier badge. And that's going to lead us into our very last badge, which is tight handles. Now, in the past, tight handles used to be the GOAT tier badge. It was the GOAT tier badge when the behind the back was in the game in 2K20. This year, I'm gonna leave it as useless, and the only reason why I say useless is because this is essentially the badge that will give you, like those annoying park size ups that basically everybody had an issue with like a couple weeks ago, where your guy would essentially like you try to do like the Curry slide and he would like roll on the ground and shit like that. He would do like these weird park size ups. They basically patched it. They patched just doing it like automatically, and they made it a part of this badge. So if you guys have this badge on like Gold or Hall of Fame and you notice yourself doing these annoying park size ups, this is why. Now, I've never met a point guard in my life that has ever been like, damn, I want to do a park size up, or damn, that park size up really helped me out here. It's basically only a badge that point guards would use, and point guards aren't even using it because they don't want to do the park size up animations and stuff like that. Which is why, in my opinion, it's useless, because you don't want to have those animations and you don't want to have them randomly occur in games, and maybe like you roll on the ground do the park size up and you get a bump steal off of it. You didn't mean to do that, but because you have this badge on, you essentially just gave the other team a possession, and maybe like a 2 or a 3 when you really should have possession of the ball and be able to score. And so that, ladies and gentlemen, is the entire Playmaking badge tier list done. Let me know down in the comments if you guys agree with my list. Let me know if you guys disagree with it, or, maybe I did everything right. Who knows? Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe with post notifications if you guys are new to the channel. Also, follow my Twitter, which will be down in the description. It's been your boy Screens, and I'm out. Peace.